Good morning people, today we are going to be reviewing this, and this is a Titan 50cm pole hedge trimmer. Now I did buy this from Screwfix for the price of £70. This does say it is a new product, so this is pretty cool. This is corded, so this isn't battery operated, so you will be plugging it in to the mains. So that being said, let's open it up and see what it looks like. So that is the absolutely enormous box now open. That was a bit of a fact, but look at that. So there is the actual hedge trimmer. This thing is huge. Comes with a nice case as well for the blade. And you know what? That's actually not that heavy. Look, I can hold that directly outright, so it's not ridiculously heavy. It comes with its own extension lead. Now I was thinking, like, you know, you're gonna have a really, really long lead. Well, you'd have had to have a really long lead. Look at the size of that thing. What's the point of that? Well, I can understand why it has its own extension lead, but that is still really cool. All right, maybe that's not cool. So okay, let's put this together quickly. So even though this thing is huge, it's actually pretty simple to put together. So we'll start with the telescopic hose, pipe, whatever you want to call it. If you want to extend it, just open up this yellow lock here, and then this slides out. Now this is actually spring loaded, so like if we hold it here and let go, it will pull itself in. So what we're going to do, we're going to set it to our required height, so we'll have it here, and then we just pull this lock down. That is literally all there is to it to set the telescopic bit. This bit will then twist onto the hedge trimmer itself. I will show you that. But how you actually treat this is basically just a big extension lead. And what I mean by that is, you see on the end of that? You see there? It's kind of like the European plug. So basically, it's like a 2-pin plug. So that's a 3-pin. This is a 2-pin. So if we look at the bottom of the hedge trimmer, it might be quite hard for you to see in there. But when I turn on this torch, you see them in there? You see the 2 pins? So basically, all this is a big pole extension lead. There is no moving parts actually inside this. All the moving parts are inside the hedge trimmer head. As for the hedge trimmer itself, it is actually adjustable. So if we hold down this yellow button, we can then move this around to whatever angle you require. So look, we've got 90, 60, 30, 0, and then 30 the opposite direction, which is pretty good. To attach the hedge trimmer head, make sure your plugs are going to be facing the same way. So in this case, it's like this, and it only goes one way. It actually has locators on it for you. So look, we put that there, and then it rests on this first pin, and then it locks into the second pin. So look, it's resting on this pin and locked into that one. And then to remove it, same thing, just pull it up and off it comes. But when you want to use it, push it down until it locks, and then we're going to bring up this collar, and we are going to then tighten this onto it like that. You know, it's only a plastic thread, so it is actually pretty simple. And there we go. The hedge trimmer is now connected and ready for the power cord. Now, to fit the power extension cord, you would think, done, that's it. But no, there is actually a correct method. Now, this does look a bit silly, having such a short cable is also quite funny, but there is actually a specific reason for it. So what we're going to do, with your extension lead, you're going to fold it over like this. You're then going to put this side of it in this gap in the handle. So look, you're going to push that in there, and there is a hook. You're then going to put it onto the hook like that. So this is now connected, and now you will plug this onto here. The reason you do that is so you stop it snagging. So you know, like if the cable gets too short, you know, like when you've reached the full length of your cable, you don't want it to be pulling like that. So that is the reason that they do this. So it is a pretty good idea, although it's quite funny having such a small cable on it. But then once this line is tight, that shouldn't be coming off there. And then the last thing we're going to do before we go outside is attach the strap. Now, the good thing about this strap is that you don't have to mess around with it because it's already looped for you. All you need to do is click this onto that, just like that. And this does swivel as well. And if you want to move it up and down, you can just give it a good old tug. But there is a flathead screw in that, and then you can slide this up and down. So there we go. We are now ready to go outside. And as for the extension lead, I've got it stretched out along here. It's roughly around the 27-foot mark, you know, give or take a little bit. This is now full extension, so your full reach, you know, give or take a couple centimeters, is pretty much 265 centimeters, which is just under 9 foot. So with this fully extended, you can reach just shy of 9 foot. Although that's going to be quite difficult because that is quite heavy. You know, the actual hedge trimmer head isn't that heavy, but then once you add all the leverage to it, it's quite annoying. Although I do like the nice sponge handle on it, that's quite good. But that is quite heavy. That'll probably tire your arms out after a while. But anyway, we're going to cut some of the branches on this tree and let's see how good it is. I mean, it cut through that pretty well, wasn't it? That cut through like butter. That was well easy. Let's do that again. So this does work really well, but like for that last bit where I was holding it as high as I could because I took the strap off, it is so heavy, you know, that hurts your shoulders after using it just for about 2 minutes. But I'll tell you what, it does cut through it quite easily, you know, the blades are nice and sharp so it slices through them. It's just holding it up so high, it's just quite difficult. I do find it funny that this is nearly 9 foot and I'm still going to need a ladder to actually get to the top. I am actually trying to sculpt it, you know, I'm trying to make it round, you know, trying to make it look pretty, I don't just want to cut it straight. So let me get a ladder and I'll try and adjust the top. Trim the top properly. You know what I mean. So this did a pretty good job at trimming trees up at height, but what I'm going to do now, where this is kind of overgrown onto the path, I'm going to see how much I can trim off, you know, in a clean sweep, trying to keep a straight line. So this way you can use it up high and then down low. It's a little bit harder to use like this, obviously, because it's so long, you know, a small one would make sense, but, you know, if you're paying the money for this one, you want to try and use it for as many things as you can. So, let's see how well this goes. Gets through it quite easily. Does a pretty good job. You know, from your angle it's probably not very straight. Oh no, do you know what? I didn't do a bad job there. So I'm going to do up top on this one, but you already saw that work. So yeah, I think this is actually pretty good. So then, what are my final thoughts of the Titan adjustable hedge trimmer? Do you know what? I think it's a wicked bit of kit. The only thing they don't tell you is that it actually takes longer picking up the branches and the leaves than it does to actually cut them. So just bear that in mind. The other thing you need to bear in mind is that once you put this on the pole attachment, because look, I can pick this up with one hand. This isn't heavy, but as soon as it goes on the pole, the leverage that it gets, it then becomes extremely heavy and it does tire your arms out. So just bear that in mind if you do want to get one. So if you've got these massive shrubs, trees, bushes, whatever that you need to start trimming down, bear that in mind that it is an arm killer. It really is an arm killer. I mean, it's the first time I've used it. I've used it for a few hours. I did do quite a few bits of it on camera and off camera. So it is heavy and I can still feel it in my shoulders. But apart from that, it is a wicked bit of kit and I would recommend getting it. The only thing I did forget to say was that regarding its 2-year guarantee, which it does get, it does say it on the corner of the box over there as well. But with that, you get the guarantee as soon as you purchase it. You know, you don't need to register it online, nothing like that. And again, this is a Kingfisher product. But then when you open this, look at that. It says distributor, B&Q, and then Screwfix as well. So it shows you that most of the products are the same anyway. But yeah, that being said, hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.